Alright, welcome back guys, or welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on the Image Comics July cover reveals that were released a couple of weeks ago. Sorry this video's late, I've been kind of backed up, but I want to get this video out. So if you're interested in this, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos on comics moving forward. Now let's begin. As usual, we got my honorable mentions for July, which include Dry County, Dark Fang, Paradiso, Gasolina, Hit Girl, Kick-Ass, Ice Cream Man, Prism Stalker, Analog, Stellar, The Gravediggers Union, Crude, Isola, and The Dead Hand. Now, these are comics that either they're just regular for me, I'm not like reviewing them or anything, but I just am interested in them, and either they're just too early into the story that I don't know what I'm going to do with them as far as reviewing, but as of right now, they're just good comics, and I'm interested to see where they go moving forward. So yeah, these are my honorable mentions for the month of July, but let's get into the comics that I will most likely be reviewing moving forward. First, we got Evolution issue number 8. Now, the synopsis for this issue reads, Hannah's beliefs are turned upside down as she falls deeper into the secret evolved community. Abe shows he's willing to do anything to stop the bug. Now, I didn't give, as usual, the entire synopsis. I kind of put a little bit in. If you want to see the whole synopsis for each issue, you can go check it out at imagecomics.com. I'll link in the description box down below. But I'm very interested to see where they go with this story moving forward. I think the first arc was really good. I didn't review it, but I'll do a whole review on the first arc probably before the new arc begins, but I'm very interested to see where it takes. I love this color. I think they always do good kind of with the black kind of border background and then having the colors pop out on the main cover. I think it's great. I think this is another great cover, and I'm just interested to see where they take the story moving forward. This is definitely one I think, if you haven't read already, definitely check it out. I think it's definitely one that you should be interested in, especially if you're into like horror and kind of like dark stories. I think you'll definitely be interested in this kind of story, and it's one that you should definitely check it out at your local comic shop. Next, we got Gideon Falls issue number 5. Now, the synopsis for this reads, Madness spreads across Gideon Falls as Father Fred and Sheriff Miller race to stop a killer. Now, I'm very interested to see where the story goes. I am very invested in this one right now, and I love the cover, the blue background. I think for me right now, it's been hit and miss for the covers. I like how they use the faces as the landscape of Gideon Falls. However, I think some of them are hit or miss, like I said, but I really like the blue coloring in this cover. Like I always say, you gotta have the colors pop on the covers of these comics, and I really like how the color pops on this one, and I really like the synopsis. I think is very interesting, and I'm very interested to see how the two work together to solve the murder and how it maybe is connected to Norton. And I'm just very interested to see how the story plays out. It's definitely one I think, if you're not reading, definitely go check it out and read the first couple issues that are out already, because I think it's definitely one that you'll be definitely slightly interested in and very surprised of how good the story is being portrayed so far. Then we got Oblivion Song, issue number 5. Now, the synopsis for this issue reads, Things in Oblivion are heating up as Nathan deals with danger on all sides. Now, not much to go on with this synopsis. I'm very interested to see what they do with Oblivion Song. I have not read the latest one that was released yesterday, so please don't, if you know anything, don't give me any spoilers. But I'm very interested to see where the Oblivion Song goes. I definitely think Robert Kirkman definitely has a possibility to have another hit comic on his hands. I think, for me at least, it's a little bit too early to say if this is going to be like the next Walking Dead or anything, but I think it's definitely a book that definitely could show that Robert Kirkman is someone that is like going places. I mean, yes, he has made like great things like The Walking Dead, Invincible, Outcast, but I think this is another one just to show like how Robert Kirkman is here to stay. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. And I'm very much interested to see what goes on with William Sun moving forward, and what the story is with Nathan Cole. When will he be reunited with his brother Ed, and what's going to go on with that story. I'm just very interested to see what they do with Oblivion Song. I think it's definitely one that if you haven't read it, definitely go pick it up at your local comic shop and check it out. I love the cover. I like the red background with the orange people. Just very cool looking. I think, like I always say, the colors are making it pop as usual. I love when they make the colors pop. They've done it with all 3 of these covers so far, and I just can't wait to see what goes on with it moving forward. with the story and just the characters and what goes on with their story moving forward in Oblivion Song. Next up, we got Paper Girls issue number 22, and now the synopsis for this issue reads, "The future has always been terrifying." And like I said with the last one, there's not much to go on with this kind of synopsis. Just one sentence, barely a sentence. But I'm very interested to see what they do with Paper Girls. We're going into the future with the new arc starting in June, and I'm just so excited. It's definitely been a slam dunk. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. I know it looks like a girly kind of teen book, but I promise you, it is probably one of the best books out there. And definitely go pick up the first couple trades, the hardcover book if you want. Definitely check it out. I love this cover already with the old lady on it and kind of having it be white. I think that's a good choice to do something different. You don't see too many like plain white covers. I think it definitely helps make it pop, especially with the orange woman's face. I'm just really excited for this to come back. I think it is definitely a slam dunk hit for Image Comics. I'm just so excited. I love the cover and the story is great. So, Paper Girls, definitely check it out at your local comic shop if you haven't already. Highly recommend it. And I just can't wait to see what they do with the story moving forward now that they're going to the future. And it's just, the characters are so great. The story's great. I think it's just something, like I said it before, it's kind of like, imagine Stranger Things and Back to the Future kind of mixed together in a sense. I really love the story. Definitely check it out, like I said, if you haven't already. I highly recommend it. So, definitely go check that out if you haven't already. Next, we got Port of Earth issue number 7. Now, the synopsis for this issue reads, as Earth security agents Rice and McIntyre pursue an alien assassin and push the boundaries of the protocols, they find themselves facing a dangerous choice. Now, this is not the full synopsis as usual, but I really am interested to see where they take Port of Earth as we go into the second issue. Again, I haven't read the newest issue that was released earlier this week, but I'm loving this story already. I love the cover. I love how they give this story kind of a gritty, kind of sci-fi, dark kind of look to it. I really love that kind of look, and I think Zach Kaplan is hitting it out of the ballpark again. I love Eclipse. I love this new story, Port of Earth. If you haven't checked out Zach Kaplan, definitely check him out. Pick up Eclipse, pick up Port of Earth, check out his new Aftershock book coming out, I think, next month. And I just highly recommend this guy. He is really amazing. Definitely go follow him on Twitter. I think he's so amazing. He's definitely is someone who's on the horizon. You should definitely check him out and follow him. Follow his stories because I think he is definitely a brilliant writer. And I just can't wait to see what he does with this story moving forward. And I just can't wait to see what other stories he does moving in the future, different books. Definitely check him out. I love this book and I can't wait to see what they do with it moving forward. So Port of Earth issue 7, definitely check it out and check out Zach Kaplan's. That's my biggest recommendation is Zach Kaplan. So like I said, Port of Earth, definitely check it out at your comic shop if you're interested in this kind of sci-fi story. Next we got The Realm issue number 8. Now the synopsis for this issue reads, with Nolan in the clutches of the Spider King, Molly leads the rest of the survivors on a desperate rescue mission. I love Realm. I think it's one of the best books. Probably it's definitely like in my top 10 books, and I'm very excited to see what they do with it. I love this kind of purplish cover. I love it, and I think The Realm is definitely another great book. I think one of my biggest issues with The Realm right now is I feel like I know this book came out first, but I highly find a lot of similarities between The Realm and Oblivion Song. I know Oblivion Song came out later, and I know they're different writers, but there's just a lot of kind of close related stuff to them. But I do like them both. I think they're unique in their own way, and I'm just excited to see what they do with The Realm when it returns later this month. And this new arc starting off, I think this is great. We haven't met the Spider King. He already sounds cool. I hope it's not a letdown. I feel like this could either be one of the greatest things they do, or it could be a huge mistake. Because with introducing a character with this kind of name and ominous kind of presence just by hearing it in the synopsis, I feel like you have a great way to set up this great villain, yet I feel at the same time it's another way to make the villain also come off as a bad villain. I hope he becomes a great villain, but I just have this very bad feeling he could be just like a weak villain. But I'm holding that hope. I think this is a great story. Definitely check it out at your local comic shop. I think the first trade's out, and the second arc starts later this month. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. I highly recommend it. Can't wait for it to return. I'll review the first arc when in a couple weeks before the new arc begins. I'm trying to point it out. I'm sorry. I would like to have that out a little bit earlier. Just I'm kind of backed up right now, so please hold on for that, because that will be coming in the coming weeks, hopefully before the new arc begins, if not soon after that. But I'm very excited for this book, and I can't wait to see what it goes on with the story and its characters moving forward in the second arc starting later this month. Last, we got Redneck, issue number 13, and a synopsis for this issue reads, with life at its absolute lowest for the Bowman family, they are forced to run to a clan Bartlett had hoped to avoid for the rest of his very long life, a clan led by his ex, July. Now, first off, I love this cover already. Love the red kind of blood-like background. Probably one of my best kind of covers from from the whole July covers. I think it's probably one of the best ones. And then you got the synopsis. I kind of find it kind of ironic. I don't know if they pointed out this way, to have the character July being debuted in the month of July. I kind of find that funny. I'm going to just see where they take the story moving forward. I think this is definitely a good way to move the story forward after what happened in issue 12. I'll have that review coming out soon. But I love this book. I can't wait to see what they do with it moving forward. I think the whole going to a new clan is definitely in the right direction. We've learned more about vampires, learned more about maybe the mythology, see how everyone's live. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. And I just can't wait to see how the third arc kicks off moving forward. I think this is one of the greatest books out there. And I just can't wait to see what goes on with our characters, what goes on with JV moving forward, what's going to happen with Evil. I feel like it's 50-50. I'll go more into that in my review, but I feel like it's 50-50 what could go on with him, and I'm just excited to see how they move the story moving forward, following the death of Phil, and what they do after Landry's big comeuppance at the end of the last episode, and I'm just curious as to see what they do with the story moving forward. I think they're doing the right thing and going to a new kind of place and meeting new vampires. I think that's the correct thing to do, and I'm just excited to see what they do with it in the third arc moving forward in Redneck. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts and opinions on the Image Comics July cover reveals. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to subscribe down below and hit the bell icon that way you don't miss any future comic reviews or comic cover reveals. I also do a comic cover reveal for Walking Dead in its own separate video. I'll have it linked at the end of this video, so definitely check that out. This has been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I will see you next time.